And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly, truly fantastic day today. You know, I can remember in a post-game interview with Michael Jordan after losing to the Detroit Pistons. I can't remember if it was 89 or 90. But Michael Jordan said in this post-game interview that, hey, we fought hard. They were the better team. And, you know, we'll be back next year. Something to that effect, or we just have to get better. That was Michael Jordan's response to losing to the Pistons, even though you could tell that Michael Jordan was devastated from losing. But he didn't blame it on anything else. He simply said, we fought hard. They were the better team. End of discussion. But Isiah Thomas, this guy just cannot accept defeat from Michael Jordan. Matter of fact, shout out to Too Raw for Sports, because that's where I just saw him do a video on this. Isiah Thomas has used every excuse of why they eventually lost to the Bulls, including they got old. And people like Isiah Thomas. People like Isiah Thomas. And when I say people like Isiah Thomas, I mean Isiah Thomas. I mean Scottie Pippen. I mean LeBron James. People who just can't admit when they're wrong. People who just can't accept a loss graciously. They don't understand that they make themselves look much worse, and that this is part of the reason why they get no respect, is because there's respect for someone who can simply say, hey, I wasn't good enough. I fought hard, but this person was just better than me at the time. Or, you know, or this person was tougher than me, or this person was more mentally tough than me. There's respect in being able to admit that. And not only is there respect in being able to admit that, but once you admit it, then you can start actually addressing the problem to get better. So for Michael Jordan to say, hey, they were the better team, that already lets you know that he's thinking in the manner of, we have to get better to beat them. He's not saying we need to go find some better players to be on this team. You know, he's not saying we need a better coach to coach this team. He's saying us with the personnel we have to get better. But, you know, Isiah Thomas and his bitterness, and especially since The Last Dance aired, he has reached a new low for me. This is kind of like the end of what little respect I had for Isiah Thomas. He just threw it out the window with this one. So now he is claiming that the reason the Bulls were able to get past the Pistons finally was because Michael Jordan befriended Joe Dumars, and Joe Dumars gave him an inside look at the inner workings of the Detroit Pistons. So let's read this article from Basketball Network, and it says, the Detroit Pistons eliminated the Chicago Bulls in 3 straight playoffs from 1988 to 1990. The last 2 on their way to winning back-to-back NBA championships. But in 1991, Chicago finally ended Detroit's reign. To many, that was because the younger Bulls improved their talent and got tougher with every loss that they experienced at the hands of the bad boys until they finally became strong enough to get over the hump. The same goes for Michael Jordan, who bulked up significantly to better withstand the physical punishment he took in the prior years against Detroit. However, Isiah Thomas had a different explanation as to why Chicago was able to win. According to Zeke, The Bulls solved the Pistons' riddle after Jordan got to know people on the team. Thomas said MJ got to understand what drove Detroit and used that to divide them. When team's writer Mitch Albom asked Isiah if the Pistons player he was referring to was Joe Dumars, he said yes. Quote, yeah, they got to be friends. So Jordan got to get inside our inner workings and find out who was who and what made this guy tick. When you look back on it, you see the games that he played in the media and how he moved that guy and moved that guy. It was masterful, said Thomas. Says, it's unclear how close Joe Dumars and Jordan actually were. What's certain was that the two always matched up when the Pistons played the Bulls, but they never said a negative word to each other. Joe also admitted that during those 3 years when the Bad Boys beat the Bulls, MJ would walk over to him, shake his hand, and wish him luck in the finals. Dumars could feel how devastated Mike was with each defeat, but he never openly talked about being friends with Jordan. Thomas, meanwhile, insisted that they were. Another quote, but I think Joe is smart enough as a person that he makes his own friends, Zeke continued. I don't want to say that's the reason why they beat us, even though, Isiah Thomas, that's exactly what you just said. That's exactly what you just said. But all of a sudden, we weren't the big bad bear anymore. And when you're not the big bad bear, they say, okay, I'll go in and take this layup. This may be one of the most ridiculous things that I've ever heard Isiah Thomas say, and this is the end of any respect that I may have had left for this guy. To not just be able to accept defeat graciously. First of all, you know, to insinuate that you weren't the big bad bear anymore because Michael was friend with Joe Dumars is completely ridiculous because you never were the big bad bear to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan always continued to go inside the lane despite what football tactics you guys were trying to exercise. Michael Jordan never stopped going into the lane because of that. And you know, and then the thing is, it is well known that the whole team started working out. You know, especially Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, that they started working out because they understood the kind of basketball that you guys played, and they understood they had to be stronger to withstand it. So to suggest that, oh, Joe Dumars somehow revealed the inner workings, it's like you guys were still giving hard fouls. They just weren't responding to it the same way. And when I say they, I mean the rest of the team, not Michael Jordan. But you saw Pippen stop responding the same way, stop being intimidated by the hard fouls as the first 3 years. And I think, to me, if you just watch the series, it is evidence that each series they were getting better. So you mean to tell me it's because each year Michael Jordan and Joe Dumars' friendship was getting stronger, and so Joe Dumars was divulging more of the team content? That's ridiculous. Chicago played, I think, the Pistons 4 times in a row. And it went from 5 games to 6 games to 7 games where Pippen got that migraine, and then to finally overcome it. So it was clear that the Bulls were getting better every single year. So yeah, you know, again, to me, this is just more of this foolishness. Isiah Thomas, this is completely ridiculous. Like, again, to me, people like that don't understand that people would respect you more. People would give you your flowers more. People would give you the benefit of the doubt more if you could just be honest about your basketball takes. If you could just be gracious in defeat. If you could just say, hey, look, you know, the Bulls got better and better, and eventually we just weren't in any match for them. That's what happened. You know, the rest of the Bulls got better and better to the point to where, you know, it wasn't just Michael we had to worry about. And so at that point, we couldn't do anything because once they got a halfway decent team, we were no match for them. Because they had the greatest player to ever play the game, and now he had a decent team around him because they got better and better each year. And again, when we're talking about Michael Jordan, we are talking about the one-man mismatch. We're talking about the one man that could give most teams a significant advantage. And again, you know, this is like unlike LeBron James. LeBron James doesn't really give teams an advantage. You know, LeBron James takes advantage of teams. But that's a story for another video. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think of Isiah Thomas saying that, hey, the reason the Bulls got past us was because Michael Jordan was friends with Joe Dumars, and Joe Dumars was revealing the inner workings of the Detroit Pistons team. What do you guys think of that? And last but not least, I'm going to say this is really a shame because if you follow my channel long enough, you know that I started off a bad boy Pistons fan. Like, that was the first team that I really followed heavily, you know, once I got into basketball. That was the first team that I was buying the merch and the shirts and the hats for, and I was a huge Isiah Thomas fan. I was a huge Joe Dumars fan because if I had to compare my game to anybody, it would be Joe Dumars because I believe I was a much better defender than an offensive player, for sure. Like, I could lock in on defense, especially if you one of those trash talkers. I was going to give you a hard day. So I really related to Joe Dumars a lot. But yeah, it's a shame because, like I said, I was a huge bad boy Pistons fan. I was a huge Isiah Thomas fan, and you know, just to see this, it's just severely disappointing. Severely disappointing. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.